All right, well, hi, I'm Anjali Mulchandani. I am a professor at the University of New Mexico in the Department of Civil, Construction, and Environmental Engineering. It is a mouthful. But I am an environmental engineer. I study environmental engineering, sustainable engineering, and water. And I just think about how we can have a life cycle or systems approach to how we solve our environmental problems that we face today.
So my name is Viola Arduini, and I'm here as an artist. Medium, it's a good question. I started as photographer, but my practice proceeded into a lot of different media, a lot of interdisciplinarity. I would say lately, definitely towards bioart.
As Viola and I were talking about science, one concept that we really started to stick to was the idea that waste is often a human construct. This thing that just the trash that we have is trash, and then we start again. And in nature, trash doesn't exist. Trash is a resource. So Viola kind of took that concept and went with it.
Yeah, so the final work is called Elemental, and we kind of reflected on how we really went very micro and how these elements that are part of, in this case we focus on the waste of the water waste and what the city produce and then gets treated and then goes back to the river, but like looking at what the water contains and how actually these elements will naturally go back into like other cycles if it wasn't for human intervention. I first was very interested about the concept like this shared futures, resilience. I truly believe that to imagine new futures, we need to collaborate more with art and science. So that was definitely the big call. And I was also very interested to connect with more artists and scientists working in the community. I left UNM a few years ago after graduating, and the community is definitely missing with COVID and everything. So I was like, this sounds a good place and a good group of people, and I want to participate and contribute.
I have been a scientist/engineer for coming on 10, maybe 15 years, and I realized that we had a problem with telling the rest of the world about science. I think that the world has a specific notion about what scientists or engineers do or what our discoveries are or what they mean, and I felt like one of the best ways to get our science out there is through outreach and to create new modes of communication. In the past, I was doing this through K-12 museum demo type work where I would work with younger kids, and I thought that was great. But then as I started talking to adults, I realized that there was also a need to talk to adults. And the way that you talk to adults sometimes is similar, but oftentimes is different from how you talk to kids. So I was interested and excited about finding an opportunity where I'd be able to do both of those. And Shared Futures offered that opportunity because we can talk to kids through Meet an Artist, Meet a Scientist, and create little hands-on demos that simplify science. But then you can also talk to adults through different types of media and have different types of conversations with them. So Shared Futures is an awesome way in which you can take your work out to the public through ways that I never would have imagined. Yeah, I think Viola is this infinite well of creativity. I think like whenever I bring an idea, she's like, and all of this, and then she starts sketching in her notebooks that she brings everywhere with her, and she just fills pages with ideas and schematics and sketches, and it feels like no idea is off the table. It's like your ideas are limitless and potentialless, and I feel like sometimes I work in the world of engineering where it's restrictions and boundaries, and it must be this way, and it must fit on this page, and then working with her, it's like, color can be everywhere. And I think that's exciting because it makes you feel like a sense of joy and creativity and fun about the hard niche science that you do every day. So I think that was honestly my favorite part of just being like, anything is possible with art.
Definitely expanding, like learning so much from Anjali, see the lab, see the work that you do at the lab, some very cool stuff. That's something I never thought about, like at all. And so it was like, wow. That and really made me think of my place, I think specifically like in Albuquerque, like as we talk about sustainability, like the visit at the water reclamation plant, and I think it's specifically important, we live in a high desert, like they lack both water and nutrients. Yeah. So that was very, very important to think about.
What does it take to make collaboration successful? It takes humility more than anything. I think it takes you realizing that you're not the only voice in the room, and that sometimes you have to shut up and listen. It's the reality. I think that oftentimes we think we're good collaborators, but really you think you're a good collaborator because you've been blabbing the whole time. So you're like, wow, that was a great meeting. The best meetings are the ones in which you don't talk and you just listen and you hear about what other people think, and then you go home and you reflect on that. And then you come back and you put ideas together. So I think be humble and listen.
Communication. I think that is the first and most important ingredient. I mean, definitely affinities and, share values and share intents, but if you don't have good communication, you cannot really even understand what are the needs and the interest. So, I think just be sure that it's a safe place where things can be shared, and there can be honesty, and there can be an open channel. So then I think you can reach to a place where you can actually collaborate together.
So biggest takeaway from this is to break boundaries and be creative. And try something if you want to try something, and don't let any of the naysayers say don't do it. I think Viola going, I want to learn Arduino, and then just taking it upon herself to go on YouTube and find code and write code all from scratch to build this little light segment because she wanted to and because she could. I think that's the inspiration to take away from this, of just because you don't know how to do something doesn't mean that you will never know how to do something. If you want to learn it, you can learn it. And sure, you're going to mess up. And even though she says that it doesn't look perfect, it looks awesome.
That's what to say. Doesn't do fully what I wanted it to do.
Yeah. It looks amazing. It's a very cool LED color light strip. You took something and you made it something because you wanted to, and you learned a skill. And I think that's the takeaway, is don't ever doubt yourself or limit yourself. It's, if you want to create something and you think that it could look cool and you have this vision for it, why not try? Because if you don't try, it won't exist.